Do 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 do. Hey, Leaky. I'm still laptopless. No updates since last Wednesday, which is annoying. Tried to talk to someone about it and just got stuck in phone support hell, I have to say. Hi, Dan and Milo. Wow, that is a very blinky emoji. So, we did use our work one over the weekend to watch Zeus's extra live stream, but it's a bit of a faff bringing it back and forth from the office. So, I mean, the office is literally just my spare bedroom, but it's still a bit of a pain. So we're doing the best we can with not using laptop, having the phone again. So we're waiting for Jessie to join us. Don't know if anyone has easy access to another browser window and can check. We're also playing Talos Principle 2 again. For blurb, please see the first video. And thanks again to ID Xbox for the code for this one. That's not how it works. It just means it's 3 PM. But he messaged me like less than an hour ago saying he was in for today, so. That's what I wanted to put on my to-do list. Just add something to my to-do list. Have to be when I get my laptop back. I'm hoping I'll get it by this weekend, but it is quite annoying that it is delayed. I mean, I can understand, but it's just there's no updates. And yes, I've told day 12 to start. For Christmas. So I caught all the way up. I'm not going to finish it today, but I should get at least one. Get an S, I believe. I'm a bit tired, but I'm hoping I shall perk up a wee bit. And see how we go. Still waiting for Jesse, but let's at least switch over to the game. See if I can see if he's live. How do I get out of creative mode? There we go. Alright, I just told him to hurry up. Yeah, I mean, technically I did the 11th day 11 on the 11th. Ooh, okay, so 3 hours 3 minutes, 0 progress on any of those things because, well, we did the intro, little area, and then spent 3 hours. I did Magritte. I circulated, and then spent 3 hours running around looking at cat tributes and vibrators. It was a good stream. So I will load in. Oh yeah, so we met this guy. He appeared as a big purple hallucination when we were indoctrinated. Oh, we have a voice in our ear. Maybe. Hello, can you hear me? A voice in my ear?
No.
Okay, well, that's great.
Voices don't hear things.
That is an actual good point. Are we ready to start?
That would make me an ear in your ear. And this is getting a little kinky.
Okay. So yeah.
I don't know either.
So we are the 1000th, I believe. We are 1K, the 1000th robot to be born.
We are human. How dare you?
New Jerusalem. Okay. Well, new human. And as I said, we spent the most of the last 3 hours of stream when we streamed it, running around looking at cat tributes and searching for vibrators, as I said, when you came in, Jesse. It was a good stream. We didn't do so many puzzles.
You were searching for vibrators. Did you find them?
Yes.
Okay.
In 2 games last week.
So, what's the verdict? Are we going?
That's like the 3rd game I know that that I've heard you've been searching for vibrators.
What was the other one?
There was like some point and click hidden thing a while ago.
Oh, I think that was a dildo, but yeah. That was...
Was it a dildo? Okay.
Oh, yeah, that was that.
Just more sex toys.
Yeah, there was an entire shop of sex toys. Oh, what was that? Not Stan. Larry. Leisure Suit Larry.
No, I thought there was something else. And it was like a rabbit.
There was a rabbit?
Thought.
Oh, that kind of rabbit.
Yeah.
Are you sure it wasn't Larry?
I thought it wasn't Larry. I thought it was some other kind of point and clicky.
That was a very lewd point and click, you see. But I probably didn't stream that one, though. I don't think I streamed that one because it was lewd, and I just bought it. Apparently I just look for them in every game, just in case I get lucky. I mean, true, Dan. There is a Saints Row with a huge dildo you can use as a weapon, yes. But again, I haven't streamed that. Yeah, there's also... Isn't there one where you can literally, like, fire dildos from a gun or something?
Could also be a Saints Row weapon, for all we know.
But yeah, that is a really good point. I don't think I streamed... I may have done one stream of Larry. But I think I mostly played those offline.
Yeah, I just swear there was one. I swear we had this conversation before.
Yeah. Yeah, but neither of those games are point and clicks, Dan. You already see me doing Dead Rising, though, even if it has a dildo gun. But yeah, you're right. There was one.
It clearly was not a memorable point and click, but you know.
Oh, so that's not Dan. That's Lady Magritte. Sorry, you're both purple on the screen, and I just saw purple and the little mod thing.
See, the problem is Dan doesn't pick a color.
Yeah, Dan doesn't pick a color, so
his color changes. Like on mine, I don't know what it is right now, but on what I see of yours is like a pinkish, orangey thing.
I got red on my phone and purple on screen.
You and Lady Magritte are different shades of purple.
Yeah. But no, I'm not going to play Dead Rising. But no, I apologize, Lady Magritte, for thinking that you were Dan. Just because
that is something worth apologizing for.
Yeah. There are a lot of sex toys and things that look like sex toys in games, yes. However, there's probably a specific game that I played that did have a rabbit in. And yeah. Okay, yes, this is an opportunity we can't pass up. We are going.
Was pretty convincing.
We didn't have a choice.
Well, we'll see. I just wonder how much of the city is going to fall apart while I'm gone. Actually, we haven't been formally introduced. I'm Melville, New Jerusalem's only decent engineer.
I was the only one.
From the elevator.
Nice to meet you. People call me 1K, though I wish I could pick my own name.
Now let's get this show on the road. You ready to go?
Yes, we've had a 2-hour look around. We're going. Ooh, and we got the bloop. Right, Wanderers. Right, so now I need an S achievement for my 12 days.
Hold on to your hats.
Oh, I can hold on to my headphones, but
those
not
language libraries.
Thank you for coming along, everyone. We have a chance to make a real difference here. It's not just about what we find on that island. It's about who we want to be as a people, as a civilization.
They really did not finish this stone, did they?
To remind ourselves that we used to be wanderers, explorers. We used to yearn for distant shores and dream of building new cities. Let's see if we can
what's outside of it all?
That flame a little.
Well,
right.
there's a dead city over there.
This is going to be a long journey, so I would like to ask you to switch to sleep mode
what looks
to conserve
like
power until we arrive at the
snow-covered
island.
mountains.
Nighty-night.
We just woke up and we're already being put back to sleep.
Why are we going back to sleep? Oh, I missed that part. Why are we being put to sleep?
You have chosen a dangerous path. A path that will
so
demand
dark?
sacrifice. But that, my child, is how the future is built.
Oh, okay.
Wakey, robot people. Say goodbye to Elohim and say hello to the mysterious island.
Oh, okay. So it's basically just a
We hit some
chance to give us a
headwinds over the
cutscene.
ocean, so fuel consumption turned out a bit higher than
jumped to another
expected, but
area.
we should be okay. We're approaching the center of the island now. This should be the location of the largest of the artificial structures we detected.
How large are we talking? Do we have precise measurements?
What was it? What's for?
Should be coming into view just about... Whoa. It's big.
It's a pyramid.
That is a bloody mega structure.
Well, it's
If
not
I'd
like
a
any
spine,
pyramid I've seen.
It'd be shivering.
Ha! I knew this would be exciting. Yakut, find us a place to
Oh
sit
yeah, no,
down.
I already checked Dan, but thank
On
you. I will get it before the end of the year. End of the year. End of the year. Yes, no, that was the right word. I
It
wanted.
really is incredible.
Remember to turn on streaming, everyone?
Streaming in the suit.
Have I ever mentioned that I hate flying? If our creators had intended us to fly, they'd have given us jetpacks.
And... touchdown.
We're finally starting Act 1, A Voice in the Wilderness.
Okay, that's
All
it for
right,
today.
everybody. I'm sure you're all just as excited as I am, but let's
I
at
mean, I'm
least have some
just waking
semblance of
up,
order.
so...
Yakut, I want a map of the island and a molecular analysis of, well, everything.
I want a cup
Melville.
of tea.
Tell me what the giant pyramid does. The rest of us will start exploring.
Shouldn't the expedition leader stay at the VTOL?
Why do you hate fun, Al?
I don't hate fun. I'm just mildly suspicious of it.
Excellent. Then we can all go.
Okay, so explore the area. Well, I'm following these guys into the little structure that looks like the half a bridge. I don't know who I'm following, but I'm following someone. Ooh, there's a down. Oh, this is like a subway station. I'm following Alcatraz, in case you were wondering. Looks like a subway station, not a subway station. Are there hiccups? Oh dear, got the hiccups. I had the sneezes.
This
Okay.
underground structure seems to be part of some kind of transport system.
It is a subway
No
system.
power, though.
I'm not making any promises, but I might be able to fix the transport system.
We're on Halo.
However,
That's what it
I
is.
don't like just randomly poking at things.
We're gonna release
That's how
the
you
flood.
Get electrocuted.
Oh, that sounds
So
bad.
please check the surrounding structures to see
Well, they
if you
can't
can
do
find
anything to us,
anything
we're
that might
robots.
help me make sense of this stuff.
Excuse me, we're human,
Schematics,
right?
Blueprints.
Human robots.
Manual would be great.
You had fun once, you think? Well, maybe you should have fun again, Dan.
Overrated.
Fun is overrated. I mean, I had fun playing through games. I had fun on these streams. Right, I am randomly wandering through the rest of the tower thing, and there's a little columny thing in the distance and some more structures, so I'm really nosy up here. If you find anything interesting, call out. Ooh, this columny thing is actually some sort of... Ooh, there's a little island. This looks like a little mini temple. It's a little island with some statues with that symbol of the triangle and the circle that looks familiar, but I can't think why.
Golden gates. I wonder what's behind those.
If that golden gates,
Has
they've
to be
got...
something special, right?
You know what would be special? An explanation.
Yeah, they've got symbols on them. There's a computer, a person with a cat being observed by an eye. Don't say that, Dan. We don't talk about that in here. The doorknobs seem to be owl faces, and there are 12 like round old things. There's also a dome being constructed that looks surprisingly like the geodescent dome we just came from. Except it's been finished, and there's also some sort of water machine. And then there's an incomplete dome around 3 columns and a ball. And then there's a big robot talking to little robots. So I feel like maybe this is possibly the origin of our commandments.
Hey, 1K, check out these coordinates.
Okay, I don't know how to do that. How do I check out where Marvel is? And some statues of people. Very satisfying water noise as I'm shuffling through the water. Check out these coordinates. Ah! It's on the map. Right, okay, so I'm going towards the coordinates I was told to on the map. Just because, yeah. Ooh, there's a door that got took
This
off.
seems different from the other structures. Older.
Have a look around, 1K.
Looks like someone took the door off. There's power cables, some power fuel cans on a shelf. Red and blue pipes, another door that's not been taken off. I'm kind of worried about... Oh, ooh. A fancy door. Going down first. Oh look, it's that machine that was in the picture. More fuel stuff. Some sort of turbine. More pipes, don't you dare close the door on me. More pipes, more fuel. Okay, so what's through here? Aside from a random bit of rope.
Looks like they
Oh,
were
hello.
running some sort of experiment here.
Oh god, it's Relicta. They're running some sort of experiment, Jesse. With lasers. Download the schematics. Okay, well. Alright, I was expecting it to throw me into some puzzles, but did not, so I'm going to use the palm reader. Ooh, Noma system. Talos Principle 2A. On the universe. Author. Straton of Stagira. Location Ha1. On the universe. A fragment from Straton's On the Universe. Agnetes. I grant you, then, that man is indeed like Talos, and cannot escape his material nature despite the claims of metaphysics, for, as you have many times said, Ninkmachus, too many, perhaps. Straton. Repetition is the mother of teaching, at least when the students are hard-headed. Animatus. But what does this tell us about the nature of the universe, which is what we were discussing? Straton. That is the next question we must undertake to answer. We begin with the self, because that is what determines our existence as individuals. But the self cannot exist without that which surrounds it. The citizen lives within the city, and the city lives within the cosmos. So now we must apply the principle we have discovered to the wider world, and ask, if man is like a machine, could it be that the universe is similar in nature? And if so, what follows from that fact? Footnote 4. The use of the term metaphysics in this context is likely an error introduced in the Trebizond manuscript. The fragmentary Heracleon manuscript controversially uses superstitions instead. Okay. The Noma Project 1. Project notes, author, there's a number that is too tiny to read, 5358 maybe. Patient H1. Progress notes, trials, 00001-00003. Version 0.01 successfully deployed. Input output consistent. String of numbers. Trials 00003-00004. Insufficient. String of numbers. More numbers. Trials, more numbers, 56. Version 0.02 testing failed. Power grid 2 unstable. Lots of numbers. Schematic 5358. Now we get a schematic. Sending schematic to Melville. Oh, that's probably to fix the whatever it was.
Thanks, 1K. Let's see what we've got here. The file format is the same one we use in New Jerusalem, although some parts aren't loading correctly. And it crashed. Hold on. Here we go. Okay. You know what? I'll hack together a solution for the transport system.
Return to the station. No, while I'm having a look around. Have you found anything, Jesse?
Nope.
It's pretty though, isn't it?
Yep.
Found another monolithic
That sort of looks like a temple.
temple thing, yeah. This looks like where we were here, where we've got this giant door, except that it's not really a door. Looks like an astrolabe, maybe. Are we expecting the transport system to take us into the pyramid?
Or at least somewhere.
Hmm. Could we not have parked closer? Ooh, I got a nice view of the lake. Can we go down there? Gonna break. I don't know, but anyway, that's pretty. I'm just gonna not try and walk off the cliff. There's what would be a climbable rock face. If we're in any other game. Some trees. Ooh, I found some sort of power grid. Very rusty, covered in ivy power grid. Excuse me. God, there's a blinking forest of them. How's your week been so far?
Not much going on. You?
Busy today. Just a time before Christmas, but usually it's nice and quiet. It's not nice and quiet. There is so much going on, and it's a bit much. So I'm tired. But next week most people are off, so I might actually get some stuff done. Well, it's weird. It's very hard to get stuff done when everyone's in and wanting more time and meetings. Ooh, purple guy's back. Oh, station purple. Ah, and manifested a giant satellite bomb thing.
Am I in sleep mode, or did that thing just materialize out of thin air?
Melville, I want an analysis of that particle cloud.
On it. Anyone got a butterfly net?
Where Byron is just walking in circles. Oh my god, actually, shit, you can fall down the mountain.
Yep.
Did you do that too?
Yeah.
Can you get back up the mountain?
I just respawned.
Okay. You respawn after a point, but I did find something sticking out of the mountain, which I am going to have a look at from the other direction. So as I was jumping round trying to come back up, there was a thing which I'm going to fall onto. Oh no, you can't. There's a roof of a thing, but you can't fall onto it. So obviously you're not supposed to get down there. Fine, we'll go into the station. But yeah, just very busy and tired and trying to get my laptop back, but no one's giving me any answers.
So I'm not done with it?
They have not updated it since the 6th. And every time I try and get through to the store, it just sticks me in the support queue.
Go ahead and try the capsule, 1K.
Oh, you want me to try the capsule? Okay.
Clearly,
like
because you're the youngest, you're just not valuable.
Terrible idea.
I'm connecting the transport system to our interface. Hold on.
Okay, Grasslands Ring. East 1. Okay. There's some research. A weird building near our base camp. Looks like a temple. Doesn't seem to be active. Maybe it's hiding a secret. Yes. I very much think it's hiding a secret. And then we've got the 2 things that we got. There's nothing on social media. Okay, so let's travel to East 1. Apparently there are 2 lost puzzles and some number of main puzzles and a lost lab, and a gold puzzle, and some stars.
Where is the capsule taking 1K?
To that enclosed area in the eastern lowlands. I put all the information we have on the map screen. Check out your interface.
Oh, yeah, I can see this
Thanks.
picture has a kitty
Sorry,
on it.
My bad. We'll catch up with you soon, 1K.
It's fine. Don't worry. Don't mind me, I'm not claustrophobic at all. Totally claustrophobic. Ooh. 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 Ugh. First person.
This place is magnificent. Look at that tower. I wonder what it's for.
Hi, everyone. They're either oars of a giant boat or some sort of helicopter. Okay, right, what do we got down here? Cool stones. I like these. They're pretty.
Hey, Vor, thanks for the resub.
Very pretty stones. Okay, I see a 2. Literally the number 2 on a monolithy thing. Which makes me wonder where 1 is. Okay, so and I see puzzles. I see... something I can't get through yet. And 2 sets of puzzles. I'm going left. RGB shifting. Ooh, hey, we got a green laser.
Puzzle?
Why would there be a puzzle?
Let's solve it and find out. 1K, go ahead.
I have a reoccurring nightmare just like this.
Oh, okay. Okay, I guess I don't understand what I'm doing here.
I think it takes the 2 colors that you put in and puts out the one that you didn't.
That was going to be my next try. Yeah, right. That is vaguely confusing, but that's okay.
There's also a terminal that I guess is a hint terminal.
Where is that?
There's something right by the purple gate we came in called the Prometheus terminal.
Oh, I missed that completely then. By the purple gate we came in. Oh.
Oh,
Ah, gotcha.
might be used to reset puzzles.
You have no tokens. You are not alone in your quest for the light. Find one of my spirits and I will free thee hidden in this labyrinth. Okay.
Looks like Prometheus has given us a way to circumvent some of these puzzles.
So
I don't
each
wanna
puzzle has a
circumvent.
backdoor. I guess the mythological Prometheus was kind of a trickster, so that tracks.
Okay, so use progress widgets.
Whoa! I'm reading an enormous energy spike.
It's another particle cloud.
I'm following it.
It's headed for the lake.
Okay, it's gone into that gate.
I think the cloud's been absorbed by some sort of device.
Fascinating. Melva?
Yeah. I'll add it to the pile of weird stuff.
Okay. 2 is now flashing. Is that because we've done one of the 2? I'm going to go back in and have a look at what that wheel thing was because I didn't really get a chance to look while it was doing stuff. Okay. Right, let's do the other one. Reconnection. Okay. Select green. Select blue. Get red. Where's that symbol again? Slightly different. Okay. Select green. Right, okay. It's a lot of maths. Colour maths. And now 2's not flashing anymore. Okay.
I've been playing around with this machine that absorbs the particle clouds.
How'd you
As
get
far
it here
as I
so
can
quick?
tell, it uses the energy of the particles to build giant tetrominos.
Excuse me?
What?
It's another puzzle. Collect enough energy, build a bridge, access the tower. I think.
What is this? A theme park?
Maybe
Devil's
it's an
Chest
experiment.
Dominoes.
A rat maze. It seems like an echo of the simulation. Not a deliberate recreation, but built around the same core principles. Let's not jump to conclusions, though. What's clear is that this place was meant to be explored. So let's do that.
Every place is meant to be explored. Well, not every place, maybe. These places are meant to be explored. So, of course, I'm going to go where the beaten path is not. To see if there's anything meant to be explored around here. Because it said there was hidden puzzles and stuff, so... Well, at least I got stairs up, so I feel like I got rewarded for it. I mean, it's probably where I was supposed to go anyway, but I went on around.
I'll be right back.
Okay. I am running around. Explorer person. Ooh. What's up here? Ooh, hello. I found a triangle. Let's return home. Swinging the arrow. 4, 5 gates, 6, 7. 1, 2. Why is swinging the arrow? Because it wants us to do them in order. That's a 7. Where'd the triangle go? Yeah, I want to do the triangle first, because I don't like being told what to do. Interconnectivity.
It's strange that some of these puzzles seem disconnected from the rest. Like it's all unfinished. Or still evolving.
There we go. I found a triangle. Great. Thanks, Circle.
Keep solving these, 1K. Let's see where it leads.
Refreshing interface. Okay. What's 1K like? Hey, I'm curious. I've ever actually met 1K. By the Founder's Pistons! I hope he's interested in mechanical engineering or something. We desperately need more people to keep the city functional, so we don't have to rely on Melville to repair the stuff that Pellegrino fixes. Hey! That's Pellegrino. Remember when you fixed the door to the mayor's office? How long was Herman stuck in there? You trapped one mayor in his office for a week and you're marked for life. I hope he's an artist. But we really need new stories, new ideas to lift our spirits. You know, if you just kept growing, we wouldn't have to worry about this, and we wouldn't have to imprison poor 1K in a cage of expectations. 1K will be whatever the progenitor intended him to be, and whatever the founder foresaw when she established the goal. He's polite and really interested in history. It's an excellent start. I'm not going to name names, but some of you are less impressive. Okay. How do I get into the... Trying to get into the actual thing to pick. Remind me how I got it in. Ah, there we are. Got into it again. D-pad. Okay. I want to explore. Looks like you got the perfect opportunity. Treasure it. 1K, I've been begging to be assigned to a scouting expedition for ages, but I'm just stuck here in the city with the walls closing in on me. Getting to go on an adventure is a huge blessing. And then we've got research. Okay, notes on the puzzles present. On the island. It seems that each of the structures on the island, with the exception of this megastructure itself, is surrounded by a cluster of puzzles resembling those found in the simulation in our booting sequence. Completing a puzzle releases a particle cloud, which then autonomously flies into the device that assembles Tetrominos. The puzzles even come with tiles, hijacking the vestigial code designed to display puzzle names in the simulation. It's unclear whether this represents a potential security issue, but the matter should be given consideration. Some puzzles seem disconnected from the rest. They're still functional and can be used to power the bridge device, which means it should be possible to reach the tower without solving every main puzzle. But they don't seem to be properly integrated. Could there be remnants from a previous iteration of the design? Device that builds a Tetromino bridge. Not sure what to call this. Bridge ring, bridge machine. It's a Stargate, obviously. Anyway, it's a device that takes particle clouds released by the puzzles and turns them into bridges made out of Tetrominos. Correctly assembling a bridge out of 8 particle clouds is required to reach the tower, so clearly another layer of puzzles. The simulation had Tetromino puzzles too, although it's a different form. Could their presence here be symbolic? I don't have a clue. Okay, so I
ran the samples I collected so far. The soil sample results are in line with what would be expected in this type of environment. The samples from the above-ground structures, though, I tried dating them, but the results just don't make sense. None of the typical molecular markers are present. These walls could have been made 10,000 years ago or yesterday. I could try to estimate an age based on erosion and plant growth, but I'm not sure that would make sense given how weird everything else is.
Good work, Yakut. Keep at it.
Okay, I'm not doing 7 because I don't like doing things in order. Self-sufficiency. Your sound is leaking a teensy bit. Maybe I should do them in order. Ah, it's up there. Okay. Blue and green make red. Why can't I put it up here? Seriously, why can't I put it down? Ah, I can. Ah, but I can't. Oh my god, will you just stop being annoying, you silly thing? Did I break the puzzle? Ah. Having issues figuring out left and right. Because everything's so tiny. You can make the terminal text bigger. You can't make anything else bigger. And it irritates me. I'm going to do a different one. Hi Malva. Oh, I can talk to you.
Yes?
Tell me about yourself.
Founders, pistons. You want my autobiography now? Fine. I'm one of New Jerusalem's chief engineers. I'm in charge of city maintenance and power management. I'm old as dirt, although not quite as old as that fossil Byron. In short, old, grumpy, keep stuff running.
Do you have any hobbies?
Hobbies? You think I have time for hobbies? That's cute. If I had time for hobbies, all of you would be dead.
Really? Nothing?
What do you want me to say? I like bubble baths, candy, and the concept of Tuesdays.
Oh, convenient.
Cities don't maintain themselves. If you don't put real effort into keeping stuff running, it all falls apart in just a few decades. Civilization is always on the brink of collapse unless we do something about it. And I do.
What's your evaluation of the megastructure?
It's big. It's too big. And it's got a lot of energy running through it. Frankly, I think we should be pooping our robot pants. See, that's what I mean about the language libraries. Pooping our pants. Really?
Any progress on the particle clouds?
Yes, but I'm not liking the results.
What are the results?
Confusing, irritating, infuriating. Take your pick.
All of the above? That's all. Okay. Okay, so I found one triangle or hidden puzzle up near 7. Just so you know, if you find another one, let me know.
Okay. I'm just going in order right now.
Yeah, I went the wrong way to go in order. I'm doing 3 now. Casting. But I keep getting... Yeah, they need to... everything just bigger. In why, yeah. Private message. Diego, permission to share personal data. Doge! 666. 1K, we met in Jerusalem, if you remember. I spoke to my friends. The whole mysterious island expedition thing has the city a bit on edge. Do you consent to my gathering and sharing your personal data? Wait, what am I signing up to? Look, my friends just want some assurance that you're the right kind of person. If you want to know what's really going on, you have to play along. You can back out any time, but if you don't engage with the process, well then you won't get to engage with the process at all. It's up to you. What if by consenting I miss out on something else? I'll give you some advice, newbie. When your choices matter in this world, you'll know about it. Somehow built in. When you face a dilemma and both options look good, then for sure you'll miss out something. But trust your gut and you can't go wrong. This right now is one of those dilemmas. You should come along for the ride, that's my advice. I consent. Sure, why not? Good choice. There's 6 questions, standard vetting procedure. We'll get the best results if you answer in whatever way is most true to you. Question 1. Which is more important for making good decisions, compassion or knowledge? Knowledge. Thank you. Question 2. Is it ever okay to lie or misdirect in order to keep a secret? No, lying is never okay. I see. My friends would be most interested in this particular answer. Question 3. When people do wrong, do they deserve to be punished for it beyond what is necessary for our own protection? No one deserves to suffer unnecessarily. Phew, that one's controversial. I'm glad it's not me that has to answer these. Question 4. Now it gets metaphysical. In your opinion, can the world be reduced to mechanical parts? Or is existence just weirder than we'll ever really know? The universe is weird, we'll never fully understand it. Well, I'm glad you understood that question because it's all Greek to me. It's in English, actually. Question 5. Can things really change for the better, for good, or do good times and bad just come around in cycles? Eventually, change for the better is always followed by change for the worse. Human progress shows things can get better and stay that way. It's a false dilemma. I know it's difficult to translate uninfinite reality into binary language. Nonetheless, I suggest if you have any natural inclination towards either idea, you answer that way, even if it's not strictly correct. But if you insist, I'll communicate your apathy to my companions. Fine. Eventually, change for the better is always followed by change for the worst. I'm a little bit of a pessimist. Got it. I don't know if that one was metaphysics or politics, but good on you for giving it a shot. Final question, which is more important to the success of civilization? To respect the lessons of our past or to rewrite the rules for our future? We should not disregard the wisdom which brought us here. We should not let our future be defined by our past. We should not disregard the wisdom. We should learn from our past mistakes, definitely. Thank you, we're all done here. Oh, hold on, I've got a last minute addition now. It's a weird one. I know who this one came from. Alright, question 7. Can praying for something make it more likely to come true? No. Prayer has no effect on the world. Sorry. Okay, noted. I think that's everything I need. I'll forward your answers to my friends and let you know if any of them is interested in taking things further. Okay, so that was randomly weird. What an incredible structure. There's an ambition expressed by this building, a sense of purpose that I find really admirable. It's big, but also intricate, detailed. That feels like a statement. We should explore this building as soon as possible. Yeah, well, I'm trying! So far, I've done 3 out of 8 main puzzles, 1 lost puzzle. And that's it. Right, now I gotta find 4. And let's just pursue the stairs. Okay, so 4 is this way. We shall do what Jesse did and actually do things in order. But if you happen to come across a triangle, let me know. Ooh, I would find... I found a palm reader. Oh, and I got a bloop for it. The world endures. Explore content on a lost terminal. Cool, so that was from puzzle 3, going towards puzzle 4, but straight up in a little bus stop.
Yep.
Cool. Founding 1. Hypath's journal number 1. Hypathia location Val A extension 2. From Hypathia's journals, volume 1, the founding of New Jerusalem, day 1. We finally set out from the dam today. The site that Athena and Cornelius picked for the city isn't far, but the vegetation makes the going difficult. We found the secondary supply site easily enough, thanks to Alexandra Duran's instructions, but while I still have to compile a detailed inventory, it seems like many of the more complex materials are in bad shape. They must have expected the simulation to fulfill its purpose a lot sooner, but then they probably expected all 12 of us to be there from day 1, not just Athena. Tonight, we have to use the 2 recharging pods that we brought from the dam in 4-hour shifts, which is just as well. There's no telling what sort of critters are hiding in the undergrowth, and most of them will have to learn that our kind isn't edible. Baby steps. Author Valerie Comtera Romero. From the introduction to Are We There Yet? Where we came from, what we're going, where we're going, and why you'll need snacks, by Valerie Comtera Romero. I like that. Are we there yet? And why we need snacks. Sometimes people point at the last few 100,000 years of human history. Oh, a few 100 or 1,000 years of human history and say, look at how ugly it is. Look at what mess we've made. Maybe modernity was a bad idea. Maybe we should stick to living like cavemen. And I get it. It is ugly and messy. But the mistake is in thinking that we are right, and thinking that where we are right now is the end point. And that is the adulthood of the human species. I mean, try to apply what you know about human development to human history. Think about babies. Babies are ugly. Admit it. We all know it. They look like tiny old people covered in mucus. Okay, well, except my nibblings are not. Well, no, okay, that's a fair point. They did look like tiny old grizzly monks for a couple of weeks. I will give them that. But they were pretty babies. They have soft heads and they grow into children, tiny sociopaths with underdeveloped brains. I'll give it that. Then they become teenagers, pimply, self-righteous lunatics driven by hormones. And then slowly, if you're lucky, they gradually become adults. The development of the human individual is always ugly and messy, but that's the point. It's development towards something. The same applies to humanity as a whole. On a geological scale, we've barely just come into existence. We've gotten through the baby phase, just about survived our childhood, but we're barely teenagers. Stopping here would be disastrous and a betrayal of everything that we could still become. We may feel the weight of history on our shoulders, but this is just a prologue. To put it in pop culture terms, we haven't even made it out of the tutorial yet. Yes, we have! We're in chapter 1! Just because it's all pimples and hormones and frustration right now doesn't mean it's never going to change. Dead City. The Dead City, author Elwyn. From Consideration of Beginnings and Endings by Elwyn. I think that all the time Athena spent in the Dead City changed her. I don't think she conceived of the goal before. I think she believed fully in the naively optimistic ideas of Alexandra Drennan. But walking through those ruins is a visceral experience, and she spent a great deal of time there looking for resources. It's the sheer amount of death that gets to me. How many animals our ancestors killed, many to the point of extinction. Entire species eradicated, sometimes for the most superficial reasons. Whenever humans arrived somewhere, death would follow. And the great blowback, the death of billions of thinking beings, the extinction of humanity itself. It's too horrific to truly imagine, but I suspect the founder spent a great deal of time doing just that. It's when she must have realized that there was no way back to the growth-obsessed, all-consuming civilization of the past. Cool. Have you found any other hidden bits that you're not sharing?
No,
Okay.
I'm just through puzzle 5.
What can I do for you?
Alcatraz. Tell me about yourself, Alcatraz.
Me? Well, I was born when New Jerusalem was a lot smaller than it is now, and there was a lot of work to do. I wasn't really interested in technical stuff, engineering and so on, but I was good at keeping things organized. So I got involved with the administration side of things. Making sure the scavenging teams
I found
focused
some
on the right
remains that gave me an
materials,
achievement
keeping
called
track of our
Discovery.
energy usage,
Ooh,
that sort
where?
of thing. I think we've
By
accomplished what
puzzle
the
6.
founder wanted us to.
Okay.
And I'm proud that I helped make that happen. Byron doesn't see it that way, obviously, but I think sometimes he gets so lost in his dreams that he forgets to look at the real world.
Do you consider Byron a friend?
Of course. My best friend, in fact. And someone I've worked with hundreds of times over the centuries. A good person who cares about the world and the people in it. I just also think he's wrong about everything and extremely annoying.
He likes annoying you.
Oh, he does. He absolutely does.
What do you think about the megastructure?
I don't know. It's obviously impressive, but I think we should be very careful. We're dealing with powers we don't really understand.
What do you think about that lab I found?
I think the only reason to build a lab in so remote a location is because you're trying to hide what you're doing. Or because what you're doing is dangerous.
What does that goal mean to you?
To me, it means accepting a certain amount of humility. Our ancestors thought they could master the world with no regard for any other organisms. They failed to see themselves as part of a greater whole. I think the founder realized where they went wrong and tried to offer us a different path. A path where we have a place in this world, but the world is not ours.
What could these puzzles mean?
Well, puzzles, or trials, as Elohim calls them, were used as part of the process that created the founder, and they're still part of how we're born. They symbolize the human ability to understand the world and solve problems. But nowadays, they don't have a practical application. They are a common motif in the arts, though. The only physically existing puzzles I can think of are in the Museum of the Simulation. So, to answer your question, no idea.
That's all. Okay. I got stuck on 7, by the way, but it's probably because I was doing them out of order.
Okie dokie.
Cat! Kitty. Ooh, I found another triangle. I'm getting distracted instead of going into 4. So that's 2 triangles now. One behind 7 and one the other side of 4.
Yeah, I think I just found that one.
Before I did that. that.
What?
I just solved the puzzles. I said like that. That's how it
Oh,
is.
okay. Still working on that part.
Well, I'm still on 4. No, I'm not. I'm in a triangle. Have I even done 4 yet? Incoming group call.
I have good news and I have bad news. Still no idea what those particle clouds are, but I've managed to fix the transport system. I mean, I've fixed another bit of it. Well, it goes to one more station now. Don't complain. 2 stations are better than none.
I'm not waiting for us there. What was the problem?
If I didn't know any better, I'd say it was sabotage. The whole system is a mess.
Let's not make any assumptions. Yakut, what does the next site look like?
It's a plateau in the mountains. Seems like more of an open area with scattered structures, less enclosed. Couldn't tell much from the drone feed. There's a lot of trees. Looks pretty though.
Okay. Keep exploring, everyone, but stay alert.
Okay. No, I have not even solved 4 yet. I've done 2 triangles and 1, 2, 3. So now I'm gonna head to 4. And I know that you said there was a thing by 6. Ooh, but I found a door.
Another set of golden gates. These must be connected to the ones near the megastructure.
There was a harder set of puzzles in the simulation, right?
A door?
And
Oh,
gold
like the
door.
special door.
I know 1K is probably like, yay, harder puzzles. But to me, that sounds like error code 704. No thanks.
Okay, so I found a door, but I can't get into it, so...
Yeah, I'm not sure what those doors are yet.
Hey 1K, what's up?
Tell me about yourself, Yakut.
I don't know if there's much to tell. I'm not that interesting. I'm just a member of the scavenging team. Well, senior member. Lead scavenger, I guess. There's not that many of us left, to be honest, and Garrus doesn't get along with the mayor. What else? I have a cat named Bruce. I like old music. I have a collection of antique bottles. I think that's it.
Why'd you become a scavenger?
I've always loved exploration. Seeing new places, that feeling that you're the first person to set foot somewhere after all this time. But you know, it's not even that. It's just seeing new things. The world is full of remarkable sights, and experiencing them changes you. It's not the same as just reading about it.
I agree. Discovering the world enriches our lives.
Exactly. Every time I go on another mission, I find something that surprises me, that extends my horizons in ways I couldn't have anticipated. The world is so much bigger than we are. It contains things that we can't even imagine. And if we limit ourselves to our own minds, we'll never grow.
I
Tell me about
found
Bruce.
a
He's 5 years
Prometheus
old,
spark.
half goofball,
Ooh.
half psychopath.
Wow.
Loves sticking his head into
Buy a
things,
puzzle stick.
chews cables,
Okay.
pees on electrical stuff. Melville banned him from her workshop, but he loves visiting her and peeing on her equipment.
Behind puzzle 6.
Okay. Why'd you collect bottles?
Typically.
I just find it fascinating that these fragile objects have survived for so long. Plus, they're kind of pretty.
Do you want to solve some of these puzzles?
Oh no, please. No puzzles. I'm so bad at puzzles. I barely got out of the booting process. Elohim thought I might be defective.
Aw, it's the furthest you've ever been from New Jerusalem.
It might be this. Although there was an expedition to a superconductor storage facility up north, incredibly well preserved, but the logistics were an absolute nightmare. Now that I think about it, there might be some of that in you.
Have you ever seen anything like the megastructure in your travels?
Our ancestors built some pretty amazing things. Huge cities, factories, mines, monuments to their history, but nothing quite like this, no.
Ooh. Jess, thank you so much for the raid. Where's my Jess button? Jess button. Baldur's Gate 3. Ooh, you started the megalith. So, welcome in, Raiders. Hi, I'm Joe. I'm joined in my ear by Jesse, otherwise known as Radical Sniper 99. We are playing Talos Principle 2, and I just found another palm reader. Trevor. The life of Trevor. Trevor Percival Donovan, known to his friends simply as Trev, never as Percy, was part of the extended lifespan project that formed the backbone of the simulation in the archive. He helped put together the hardware that made us all possible. Like Alexandra Drennan, he left behind a series of messages to the future, but unlike Alexandra Drennan or Arkady Chernyshevsky, he was forgotten. Not one building or street in New Jerusalem is named after him. I dug up his files from the archive, and I've been thinking about them a lot. Ooh. We downloaded Trevor. What did we do? We downloaded Trevor. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
So I heard that Alexandra is recording these time capsules for you out there, I guess? Robot people of the future, hi. And I thought to myself, surely they'll want to hear more than the wisdom and insight of a brilliant scientist like Alexandra Drennan. Surely they also want to know what I was thinking, a dumbass hardware engineer from Staten Island. Tell us about your insights, Trevor. Why did you spend your last months on Earth helping a crazy old Russian guy build the world's biggest backup drive? Well, let me tell you my story. When I was... Yes, Frank. I'm recording right now. Uh-huh. No. You know what? Why don't you go...
Oh, it's glass. So yeah, if you've not played the first game, then it's not necessarily going to make a whole lot of sense. The first game is a lot of puzzles.
Well done, 1K.
Yeah, the Golden Gate thing is between 4 and 5. You haven't already found it.
What?
The Golden Gate, it's not open, but it's between 4 and 5.
Oh, I found it.
Oh, you found it, okay, cool. Well, you never said anything.
I did. You didn't listen.
You didn't?
I did. I said that I found the gate.
Before or after I said there was a gate?
After.
Oh, right, okay. Yes, in which case I did hear that. I just... You're playing the game very silently.
Well, I found 7.
I couldn't figure out 7, and then I got annoyed because it wouldn't let me put the things where I wanted to put them, so...
But then I'm gonna... You said something about a triangle puzzle, so...
Yes, if you go behind 7, and like up the little path thing, there's another triangle puzzle.
Okay. I'll do that first.
Melville, what did you just upload?
A photo?
I mean, technically you're right, but
Is that? I can't tell what that is.
how did you even manage? You're literally taking a picture with your eyes, Melville. I don't even know how to make my eyes go out of focus.
Clearly, you've never listened to one of Herman's speeches.
Some of us are busy doing actual science, not just sightseeing. Thank you.
There's a research photo. There's just a blurry picture of Melville's hands. And a set of strange, there's additional puzzles protected by golden gates that can't be accessed yet. Logical pattern. Open up once the correct conditions are met. Other puzzles or something else as well. Perhaps something we should prioritize later. And then City News. Crier. The long-awaited birth of our 1000th and final citizen was interrupted today by an unknown projection into the skies. The projection, which identified itself as Prometheus, goaded New Jerusalem inhabitants in indecipherable incantations. In an interview with 1K, he speculated that the projection could be the work of a surviving ancient human. Startling idea, could 1K be right? The source of the projection was tracked to a remote, mysterious island, and a team led by Byron is now en route, joined by 1K himself. Soon we will discover whether this cryptid is truth or fiction. Mayor Hamanobus has once again called for calm and promises that New Jerusalem will be safe so long as the citizens do not forget the ideals of the goal as set forth by the founder. Ooh, I can talk to this person. Byron.
Tell me, what did you make of New Jerusalem?
Ooh, bigger than I thought it would be. It's lovely, beautiful cave. Feels like a museum.
That's what happens when all you can think about is the past. We had such ambitions in the beginning, but now it's all turned inwards. We've lost faith in ourselves, in our humanity. All we need to do now is finish that dome and we'll be trapped in our perfectly neat little tomb.
Let's ask you a question.
Of course, ask away.
Tell me about yourself.
I'm someone who was born a long time ago, when we couldn't afford to romanticize the past and demonize progress, when the value of human civilization was evident because it was so close to being gone. I'm someone who believes that human beings are important. Terribly, desperately important, because intelligent life is rare and precious. I suppose you could say I'm old-fashioned.
Hmm. What's the role of puzzles in our culture?
When Alexandra Drennan was trying to find a way of creating true AI, she stumbled upon the idea that curiosity and playfulness are core characteristics of intelligence. So she built the simulation around a
No,
game.
I don't want to.
Because playing is part of what
Okay.
makes us human. We also
Can't tell
retain
me to
some
go
of
under
that
the tower if
code,
I
as
don't
I'm
want
sure
to.
you noticed when you were booting up. Because of that, puzzles have always been important to our culture. To me, they represent
That's
the
an
idea that the
unreasonable
application
thing
of
for me to do.
reason can lead us
Of course.
forward. None of which
Is it a good
explains
tower?
why these puzzles are here,
I don't know.
or who built them.
It's a
But I
mysterious
think
tower.
it shows that there must be some kind of intent behind them. Perhaps a test.
Besides, we have 7 and 8 left to do.
Ah, I still have 6. As well, 7 and 8. What do you think about the megastructure?
It's a mystery. Not just because it's technologically far ahead of us, but because we genuinely don't understand its purpose. And I think that's wonderful. It's just what we needed as a civilization.
Take that, thank you very much.
You and Alcatraz seem to have an odd friendship.
Because we disagree on just about everything, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, here's the secret. Al is honest. He believes what he believes because it seems right to him, not because it gives him power over others. I respect that. In fact, I prefer that to someone who agrees with me just because I'm one of the first companions.
That's all. Okay, now I'll go for. I got a bloop. Team spirit. Talk to each member of your team. Did you get the bloop?
No, I haven't been able to yet talk to everybody.
Right. Right, so on this. No, you said there were remains and a spark. There's also a giant flower eye thing. That's creepy.
What do you actually do?
Generally bobble around and muck stuff up until you can fix things. You weren't talking to me. Ooh, there. Bloop. The spark. Find one Prometheus spark. Okay. I don't know where the remains are though. What sort of remains? Human remains? Building remains?
It looks like a pump or like a wheel, almost type thing. It's behind everything, like kind of how like those triangle puzzles have been on the outskirts.
Oh. I'm not really seeing it. You said it was near 6.
It's kind of hard to just explain it as near something is the problem.
Okay, well while you were on your way from 5 till 6, did you get it?
So like 5 was under the thing.
Yep.
So like there's this whole area behind 5. That's like all dense forest.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. Looks like...
feel sufficient point too.
Are you still on 7?
Yeah.
Yeah, 7 really stumped me, I have to say. Oh, hello. Huh? I am literally behind 5. Is there a mod around? You wouldn't mind dropping the banhammer, that would be great. Thank you! Side effect of not having my laptop. I found it! It looks like an upside down sewing machine and weird bicycle.
Yeah, that's about as far as I got with understanding it.
Yeah. God, that was complicated to find. That's impressive that, yeah, you were running around and you got that, so thanks for highlighting that.
Yeah, I had no idea. Like, it's very non-specific.
Oh yeah,
these
no,
areas.
yeah. But I mean, no, the fact that you said behind 5 helped. That really did help. Because, I came out of 5 and sort of, you know, started going... I didn't explore that section when I got to the Golden Doors, you see, so... Right, now let's do 6, and then at least we're caught up with you. And then I can get stuck on 7 again. Alternatives. Okay.
Am I just missing a device in here? 2 devices just seem sufficient.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to get them up the thing, and I didn't really manage it.
Well, the big question is like, there's a green panel that I'm charging up, and I don't see that it does anything.
It's a green panel that you're charging up. Okay, interesting. I'm currently getting a bit malangled in 6. I think I need to do some tidying. Lots of crossing of the beams in this one, if you're not careful. There we go.
The bridge ring seems to be fully charged now. Try accessing the tower one day.
Right, this is where you went. No, I don't want to access the tower yet. Gotcha.
You just an alternative. That one I'm not understanding about you.
Right,
You
I'm gonna
are,
get...
that's what they mean by self-sufficient.
Okay, right, because self-sufficiency... Also, you said something about a green panel that you're charging. Ah, there. So, yeah, I was having massive issues trying to move these things anywhere other than on the, yeah, blob. And then I was like, can I move it back? so that I
Got it.
can... You've got it, okay. Can you move it back so it's on a higher thing?
Using the other piece, yes.
Using the other piece.
So like if you put, so you have the connector and you have the RGB.
Yes.
So like put the fan, put the fan on the switch with the green laser.
Yes.
Now take the take the connector and put it on the outer ring.
That's
and
what I
connect
was
it to the
trying
laser
to
and
do.
the panel.
It wouldn't let me put it down. Oh, no, it's fine. I got it now. It wouldn't let me put the damn thing down before.
The connection controls are a little less precise than I think they were in Talos 1. I'll be honest. It's one of the things I'm not loving about this one. Like, it's not bad, it's just kind of finicky. I still am missing one member of the team, I think, for talking.
There we go. Yeah, I tried to... Honestly, I tried to do that before.
An excellent solution.
There's Byron, but I think I already talked to Byron.
It'll have a blue thing over its head if you haven't talked to it.
Yeah, no, I realized. They wander around kind of aimlessly.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, I tried to put the green thing up there before and it wouldn't let me put it down, so I got frustrated at it. And I was like, because I thought that's how you solved it, but it just wouldn't let me. So, yeah, that was annoying. Okay, so 8 is this way. And the gates may or may not open at some point, but let's find 8 first. Oops.
Let's find missing team member.
Have you done 8 already then?
No, I'm just trying to find the jerk who's been dodging me. Although I did just find a terminal thing.
Oh, where?
Well, I fell off before I could get to it.
Oh. But approximately where?
Near 8.
As in behind, or?
No, kind of from 8 back towards the Tetramino puzzle. But there's the robot! Found Alcatraz.
Okay. Oh, I found one as well.
Is it like overlooking the water?
Yes, the palm reader.
That's the one.
Yeah, so L1C Lifthauser. Lifthauser from Lives of the First Companions by Randolph. 777. Lifthauser is perhaps the most mysterious of the First Companions. A wanderer and a mystic by nature, he would venture far from New Jerusalem on his own, recording his thoughts as he explored harsh and distant lands. These recordings guarded him a group of devoted followers to whom he tried to impart his wisdom. 5358. In this troubled time following the founder's disappearance, Lifthauser and his disciples set out on a journey to reach the opposite end of the world by foot. They have not been heard from since. That says author error. Okay, we will download an audio.
There is a pleasure in arriving on this island. The pleasure of being the first to step foot here in hundreds of years. It is a genuine pleasure, and yet it is also banal. My presence here is of no more significance than that of every other animal. These rocks do not care who walks here, and the millennia between the presence of our ancestors and my brief journey are nothing to them. But even putting it this way is wrong. It is not that the rocks do not care. It is that in some sense
By the way, did you get the
they
one
do
for
not exist.
leaving and solving the puzzle?
I may stand in awe of the cliffs
For what?
on the southern coast,
solving
the
a puzzle in a
Cliffs cannot
second
look
attempt
back
or
at
whatever.
me with contempt. They cannot
What
do
do you mean?
anything at all.
There was an achievement for doing that.
Yeah, but what do you mean? Because I left
you
7
get
and
the-
then solved it, but
Did you get an achievement for that?
no.
Oh.
I have 11. I've got... No, I didn't get one for that. All of these are secret. It's a shame secret doesn't count. Leaving and... But I left 7 and then came back and solved it.
Weird, because I got it.
Oh, well, maybe it'll pop at some point else. If
I
not,
got-
you know.
Becoming smarter.
Okay, well, rub it in, why not?
Guess I should head to 8.
So what, you left and then came back? And solved
Yeah.
it? That's what
I only
did.
just like walked out the door. Oddly enough.
Okay. Oh, why'd you fall off the... Okay. Forgot to actually green to the green. Dumbass.
Would help if the fan was actually on. Forgot to connect to special green.
I keep on doing that. Hey, it worked that time. Okay, it half worked. Why? Oh, probably because... No, that's gotta be it. Right? Did that not work? Oh! No.
I had a feeling that might be a requirement.
Right, self-sustaining. Then we just do that. Boom! Solve date.
Odd. One case solved all
It
the
didn't do
puzzles in this
anything.
area, but nothing happened. It was a
Apparently.
brief blip in the system, though. Maybe it'll do something later. There has to be some sort of point.
I'm gonna go back to the special gate.
Yeah. That's got to be the goals, but they said something about... So... research. Lifthauser, Trevor... Oh, hello, cool. Ah, this is really cool. Everything goes in like a little inventory. Unknown machine. It looks like some sort of spinning wheel. Okay, so they speak. That's the... Right. Upload
Oh.
reference. Oh, hang on. What?
The golden gate has 2 dots on it now.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Sorry, I just saw a new message. So, 1K found a recording of Lifthauser, and what an odd recording too. I know he's one of the first companions, but I don't actually know that much about him. Don't think I've ever seen him around either. Can someone please explain? And he said, Lifthauser always had an unusual perspective, even in the very beginning. He travelled a lot, sometimes leaving for years. He built a kind of mobile recharging station so he didn't need to come back to the city as often, although it was quite risky, as the solar panels had a tendency to break rather quickly. But he had no problem taking risks if he felt they were necessary, and exploration was necessary to him. Lifthauser would record his thoughts as he explored and then publish them when he returned. Over the centuries he accumulated a group of admirers, or disciples if you prefer. In the period of crisis surrounding Athena's disappearance, they left the city, headed into the unknown, and were never heard from again since. Is the recording I found one of those published back in the day? No, not as far as I can tell. Perhaps it's something he decided to shelve, or something he only shared with close friends like Athena. Thank you, that was quite informative. Of course, now I can't remember what it was he said. Okay, so we've done 8 out of 8 main puzzles, 2 out of 2 lost puzzles, no gold, and no lost lab, and no stars. So, there are technically 4 more things to discover. Where was I going? So I'm going back to the gate.
Well, the gold puzzles we probably can't do until the gold doors open.
Okay. That seems fair.
So that probably requires completion of most of the triangle puzzles in the game. Because if I look at the gold doors, the 2 circles... Each one has 12 circles. And there are 20 there should be 20. If every area has 2 lost puzzles, then that would total up to 24 circles.
And then all the
So
doors
figure
open at once.
if you have all 24 of them open, you go back to each area, do the gold puzzle. And then the gold puzzle could lead to the lost lab.
Possibly.
The stars, I have no idea, because the stars are always complex exterior things that are always a pain in the ass.
Complex exterior things that are always a pain in the ass. Okay.
Sounds about right.
No, I mean, you know, fair, but does that mean you remember what the stars are?
I'm just saying what they were in Talos 1. Stars were special puzzles that we had to find outside. Oh wait, so the thing is that the triangle puzzles don't actually, it doesn't matter which is which. As long as you solve 8 puzzles, you can get through the ring.
Oh yeah,
the
no.
triangle puzzle.
Yeah.
And then the 2 extra puzzles are what powers the gold door. Any extra power goes towards the gold doors.
Right. Okay, that's fair enough. Then it may be that if there are more extra ones, you know, that it powers. But hey, cool. Okay, so it's got the same symbols on it. I just need a real quick break before we go through the Tetromino bit. So I will be back in a couple of minutes. I'm just going to run an ad. Okay, I am back. Right. Going towards the gate thingy. Are you already there?
Yeah.
I found another spark.
Oh, did you? Where?
Prometheus. As I was running towards the gate thingy, there's like reeds. I haven't collected it yet because it's up on something I think I have to jump off. There's like a whole structure and it's on top of a thing, so...
That's not very... Oh, what side? 1 or 2, 3 or 8?
Well, there's some stairs to go up, and when you go up, you hit 3. I think it's just 3.
So it's closer to 3?
Yeah, so if you go up the stairs to 3, and then sort of look over the edge, and it's on one of the platforms. I will stay here if you want to check out my stream.
Some kind of decryption key. Could try using it on those terminals inside the puzzles.
I want to try the decryption key at some point, but yeah, I have 2 of them now. So yeah, I just happened to glance at it when I was running past.
The only problem I have is I wonder what the Prometheus things do.
Didn't I?
Well, I'm guessing they solved the puzzle. The problem is, was there anything that did that would have been bad in the original?
No clue. I mean, I still haven't got the achievement for going out and solving a puzzle again. So, you know. I'm kind of miffed. I haven't got that one. But if that's the only one I don't get, then, you know, that's easy enough to go back. Okay, so, going... Okay, does it matter what Tetromino we use?
It looks like it's predetermined which Tetrominos you use for each segment. From what I can tell. Like, it gives you 3 for the first one, and then 3 for the second one, and then 2 for the third.
Represented the name of God,
as best as I can tell.
God's ability to reshape the world.
True, but he was also mad as a hatter.
One man's madness is another man's genius.
Okay,
When I was
cross the
booted
bridge.
up, I was terrible at the Tetromino arrangers.
Those are actually the only ones I was good at. What? I'm just saying.
I have to say, not a big fan of the Tetromino ones, but that wasn't too bad. Okay, we're going inside the building?
Yep. I think my issue is I would wish it was like top down
Yeah.
for that one.
Ooh, there's a purple thing inside.
Is that some kind of anti-gravity?
I'm not sure. Could be, I guess.
We'll find out. Use elevator. Oh, that is blinding purple.
In the beginning, the god shaped humankind out of the clay of the earth and gave them life with their own breath. But who is closer to perfection? The creator or the created?
Sphinx riddles. What the hell are you talking about, lady? They're creators because they came from nature. They're the same for they share the same breath. They created because they came from art, not chaos. Neither they cannot be compared, neither because perfection is impossible. Great! Sphinx puzzles. What do you think, Jesse? Jesse?
Thinking.
Okay. In the beginning, the gods shaped humankind with the clay of the earth and gave them life with their own breath. But who is closer to perfection, the creator or the created?
Neither.
Neither, because they can't be compared?
Because perfection is impossible.
Because perfection is... That's what I thought. Okay, I'm going with that one.
The man who lives on the plains imagines that the gods dwell on the mountaintop. But if he followed the steep road, he would see his shadow in the clouds beneath. When Prometheus saw that humankind was more alike in nature to the gods than to the animals, he stole the secret of fire from Olympus and shared it with the mortals. Was his theft justified?
Okay, yes, because knowledge belongs to all. Yes, because parents should not leave their children helpless. No, fire was not for humankind to have. No, because knowledge must be earned, not given. Or Zeus did not create fire, it was not his to own in the first place. Ooh.
I like the first one.
Yeah, that's what I'm leaning towards as well. Or knowledge must be earned, not given. But yeah, knowledge belongs to all. Going with that one.
Fire
I
may
disagree
belong
with
to the
number 4.
child, but the child will still burn itself. Angered by the betrayal of Prometheus, Zeus punished humankind by creating Pandora. He gave her a box, and when she opened it, from inside escaped sorrow and suffering. All that remained within was hope. What does this mean?
Hope may still be found if we are willing to look for it. Zeus intended for humankind to have hope, it should have been released. Hope in itself is an evil like sorrow and suffering, we're lucky it did not escape. Zeus intended for humankind not to have hope, so it remains trapped. We suffer, but we do not anticipate it. This is the blessings as Zeus intended it. Hope may still be found if we are willing to look for it.
I like that one.
Cool. I'm in that one.
Those who seek hope should ask themselves why it was imprisoned with the world's evils. Creature of clay, you stand before the fire. Will it make you whole, or will it destroy you? Consider the shadows cast by the flame, but do not mistake them for truth.
Too many riddles. I don't like word riddles.
Well, because as always, the whole game, all of Talos is pretty much, make you think.
Okay, well, giant laser beam.
Guys, look at my stream. The
Oh, it's the
beam
witness
1K
now.
activated is connecting to the pyramid.
That looks like a massive amount of power.
Oh, so potentially 3 beams.
We need
Ooh,
to talk
another
about
bloop.
what just happened. Thoughts?
I'd say there are 2 distinct issues here. What is the being 1K spoke to, and what is the function of the beam?
Let's start with the Sphinx.
It seems similar to the apparition in New Jerusalem. Presumably the same technology.
What I'd like to know is what we're dealing with, ontologically speaking. Was this a sentient being or some kind of recording?
I think it was sentient. It seemed to react what I was saying. I'm not sure the interaction wasn't long enough. I don't think so. I think it's some sort of security system.
I don't think it was sentient.
I'm not sure. It wasn't a long enough interaction, but...
Yeah. 2 or 3. I don't think it... I think saying it was sentient
I think not...
doesn't make sense.
Yeah. 2 for now?
Yeah.
Let's skip that issue for now.
It wasn't really
What
responding
really
to
matters
our...
here is what it was trying to achieve by
Yeah.
asking
For me to
those
say.
questions.
It was, but it was like AI type thing, or like a multi-choice story loop where it's like if you pick this one and this one, then responds as this one. So yeah, it seems sort of threatening. It was testing me. No idea. I think it's just being cryptic to annoy me, or I have no idea. I think it was testing.
Yeah, I can go with that.
Testing you to what? See if you're worthy?
Yeah,
That's
safe
an
word.
interesting thought. You solve the puzzles, you get access to the towers, you enable a beam, and if you do it 3 times, you get access to the megastructure.
Maybe, but why?
I don't know. It's a mystery. Don't you like mysteries, Al? Everybody likes a good mystery.
I love a good mystery.
You know what I like? Certainty.
Come on, Al, live a little. We should be careful. We don't know that these apparitions are benign. We're all doomed! Or say nothing. I shall let you pick.
Two.
We should be careful. That too. Yeah.
I don't disagree, but I still think we should proceed. 1K, keep solving puzzles. The rest of you,
Did I
as you
say we
want.
stop?
No, we're not stopping. Activate towers 1 out of 3. Okay, so we can't jump over the thing to go poke at the beam, so I guess we go down the road. It's like that's like Portal, except with way more flashy lights.
I was gonna say it's like when we entered the simulation.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. Wasn't as purple, I think, simulation. Oh, no worries, Leaky. You have a good sleeps. I don't know how much longer I can go on for, but we at least did a tower. I'd say that is definite good progress, and we should have an explore at least to see what else is out there. Okay, research. Prometheus Spark. Mythological Prometheus was a trickster, and it seems his holographic equivalent has similar tendencies. These sparks seems designed to allow us to skip puzzles, a function which appears to run counter to whatever intent there is behind this place. Still, the terminals for using them are right there in the puzzle, so Prometheus must have some legitimate authority in all this. Sparks can be recovered by properly solving the puzzles. Oh, interesting. Okay, so 8 out of 8 main, 2 out of 2 lost. No gold, no labs, no stars. Not seen a hint nor peek of them. North, east, south, west. It does say 3, so I'm assuming east 2. I reckon there's going to be 3 on each side.
Yeah, that
It's
was
not
my
going to
thought,
be
too.
as easy as do 3 and you can enter it. It's going to be 3 on the side, and then you're going to be like,
I
oh,
want
and
to go
then there
back
is
to the
more.
mega structure.
You want to go back to the bigger structure?
I would like to look at the side to see where it shot the laser.
Ah, I don't know if we can.
You can.
Oh, okay, cool.
I had already went back to the tram while you were reading.
Okay.
Yeah. Looking at the megastructure, there are 3 terminals on the side. It's a giant receptacle.
It's a giant what?
It's a giant receptacle like those in the puzzles.
Giant receptacle. Can you use different words? I'm not connecting.
Like the laser puzzles?
Oh, like the little spider things.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what it shot the laser into, a giant one of those.
Nice. Oh, I can talk to this person again. Talk to yogurt. No, yogurt.
To yogurt? Oh,
Hey,
yay.
1K, how can I help you?
What do you think the towns are for?
Maybe they're for powering up the megastructure? Or maybe they just open it, like keys. Why? No idea. But aren't they gorgeous? Just incredible feats of engineering?
I agree, they're beautiful.
I don't know who built this place, but whoever they were, they must have had a purpose. Making something so beautiful feels like a statement of intent.
Okay.
I think we're done here for now. Let's head over to the next site.
I'm going back a circuitous route in case I missed something. And also, I'm maybe a slight bit lost. But, you know, me randomly running last time found us in the Prometheus sparks, so...
I mean, it is just a straight shot from the tower back to the terminal.
What? You'd think.
Transit.
You'd
No, it
think.
is.
Yep, I realised that, but for some reason I managed to get lost. Going in a straight line, because I didn't really go in a straight line. It's because all the little things are on the map, and I was trying to figure out what the giant concrete looking thing was. Follow the signs for the gate, but apparently what that resulted in is me going the wrong way. It keeps on pointing in a direction that's unexpected. Right, let me just get back in the straight. I get easily distracted. Ah, I found it. Enter capsule. So how do you go back?
Just have it highlight the...
Oh, the megastructure.
Yeah.
I want to have a little peek at the megastructure as well. Oh yeah, it is indeed. But yes, I'm guessing that there is one on the other sides that we can't see. But maybe it opens up something. Okay, are we going to the wooded area?
I'm there. I don't know how much we want to play through, though. Got 30 to 50 minutes.
Oh, do you have a hard stop?
Yeah.
All right, everybody. I'm sure you're all excited to check out the next site. But while you're there, remember that I'm
Like, do we
want to
try to
fix
finish
the rest
towers
of the
on
transport
stream,
system.
or
Maybe there's another one of those labs.
because it seems
that
like the
Wong
areas are
found.
themed
If there is,
so
look
far.
for more documentation, please.
Seems like the areas are themed.
Like that
Do
first
we...
area was all themed around the RGBs.
Yes. Do we want to complete tower? That one looks like freaking Minas Tirith. Do we want to complete towers on... I mean, we want to complete it all on stream, don't we?
I get that. I'm saying, like, do we want to go beyond, or do we want to just, like, make sure that we complete a tower on stream and not do half of a tower?
Oh, as in, should we not leave it, like, halfway done?
Right.
Well, what we could do is do 1 to 8 on the next stream and have a look around and see if we can find the triangles, because I just found a hand panel to the left. It's a pokey out bit to the left of...
Yeah, I see it.
Okay. Cool. Okay. World Spirit. Author unknown. World Spirit. What is it that drives historical processes? It's easy to dismiss the ideas of the great man, or great woman for that matter, when clearly so much is determined by resource distribution, pre-existing political structures, and the randomness of the universe itself. But is there no space at all for the individual in all this? Are there not moments when, in Hegelian fashion, an individual may represent the world spirit itself? Was Napoleon history on horseback, or not? Or is that in itself another form of determinism? It keeps on doing 5358. That's propped up in a lot of these things. That's got to be relevant. From Augustus to Napoleon, from Lincoln to Lincoln to Lenin, they're individuals whose actions seem to drive rather than merely be driven by history. They make bold choices for good or ill that transform entire societies, or do they? We like to blame them for their failures, but are they not ultimately just the expression of an historical moment? But if they are, where is the space for human agency? It sometimes seems to me that all of human history has been that one struggle, to carve out a space of free choice against the tides of history and heroes and tyrants. Pick and choose examples as you will, as both are equally a reflection of that. Our greater goal, then, ought to extend that freedom to the maximum number of people, to become captains of our own fate in as much as it is possible in this universe. Founding 3. Hypatia's journal number
3.
2. Founding 2. Sorry. Yeah. My brain is tired. And this font is tiny! Tiny font. From Hypatia's Journal, Volume 1, The Founding of New Jerusalem, Day 14. Melampus and Yemo went back to the dam to get more charging equipment. They've not returned yet, which means we're stretched a little thin, since we're still posting guards at all times. But those large herbivores haven't come back yet, and at any rate, Eustachius assures us that they're non-aggressive. But it's better not to take any chances, not when there's so few of us and so many of them. Athena and Cornelius and Eustachius spend most of their time drawing up plans and arguing, in a friendly manner, but arguing still. The rest of us are managing to tune them out pretty well. It's like background noise after a while. Then there is a string of numbers. Actually, it's hex code. We have started construction on the first habitat. It's going to be a temporary structure for now, but we'll all be glad to get out of the rain. And then Trevor 2.
So, what are you doing here, Trevor? Why are you trying to save the world? Well, look, I think humanity is awesome. I love humanity. As a species, we're great. I mean, our track record is pretty mixed, but have you seen everyone else? I mean, what did you do today, animal? Oh, I ate some leaves, sniffed my own butt, crapped myself, and went extinct. Or, you know, I tore this other animal limb from limb, sniffed my friend's butt, crapped myself, and went extinct. They really don't do anything interesting. I mean, you don't see animals directing Big Trouble in Little China. Birds can go tweet, tweet, but it ain't exactly the White Album. I mean, they can't even make a good cheeseburger, for Christ's sakes. They have no art, no cuisine, no pleasure. Animals are nice to look at, but you wouldn't want to be one. Except maybe a cat. I could be a cat.
Yes, I definitely want to be a cat. Alright, so I'm basically just exploring around, finding anything that's not main puzzle.
Okay.
I went left from Trevor 2.
I figured you continued on the ring you were doing.
I always go left. Oh, and I found 3. Oh, I thought you were a hidden thing. You're not. Okay, so I've seen 2 and 3. Ooh, find some pretty awesome shape. Oh, I found a Prometheus piece. So from 3, behind 3, head towards the edge of the world. And there's a lovely stone structure bridge thing. It's on the end of the bridge. It's up a mountain. So try and climb like a Mako. You can also get to it from 4 by going towards 3 and going up the slope. Ooh, triangle
Joe,
puzzle.
do you see question marks
Do I see question marks?
on your radar?
Yeah, well, I just turned one into a triangle. It's behind 4. I think you see question marks if you get close to them, possibly. But yeah, I turned a question mark into a triangle puzzle by finding it behind 4. There's a lovely path. So I'm going to do the triangle puzzle. Keeping connections. Ooh. $1. Where's $1? There's $1.
What's a driller do?
Oh, it says driller. Okay. I read as $1. Oh! It creates a hole. In the rusty wall.
Hmm. Only problem is you can't pass through the hole.
You can't, no. Picked up the thing with the wrong bloody control again.
Hey, Captain. Thanks for the read. You figure anything out here, by the way?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah?
I made a hole. I made a hole and connected the red to the red, and then I carefully picked up the thing, made another hole, and then dropped it through the hole, and it opened up so I could get the other connector. So now I have a spare connector. But now I need to figure out how to...
I only see two places I can actually use this driller.
Yeah. And you need both of them to make the connection to get the thing. But then the bit I'm missing is then how do I make the next connection? Because then in order to get it out, I've got this and this. No, there's not enough give. Right, that's how we do that.
I can't even get the connector to connect yet.
Done.
Ha!
Did you figure it?
It's the first step.
Cool.
I can't help but notice that many of these structures are not strictly functional. There's a sense of aesthetics, of beauty here. This place might be meant to test us somehow, but perhaps there's more to it than that.
Okay. If you don't manage to figure it out, let me know.
Oh, that part was easy.
Cool.
Once I got the first one out.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty simple that the purple lets lasers through.
Yes. And people, but not devices. Oh, I found a weird structure. So, up from 4, you have to sort of follow the hill round, and it's like a tank. It glows in blue, so you don't miss it.
Another one of those, okay.
Yeah, so it's basically go up the hill and then go immediately like right and go as right as you can, and then you'll overlook 4 again. But it'll be up at the mountain.
So I'm at 4. Follow the path up.
Follow the path up. I'm still basically continuing my circuit to the left and just trying to get as left as possible. I'm basically just following the edge of the world. That is my theory here.
Well, I still haven't found it. But I can continue looking.
I'm now lost in the forest.
Lost the forest for the trees.
Yeah. Okay, I'm by it on my stream if you want to have a look. So 4 is down there, and there's a path up here. Well, maybe that's 4. Anyway, I came up and round, and then it's here, impaled on a tree. Maybe that's 3. Maybe that was the triangle. Oh no, that was the triangle one. Anyway, I did pass 4 on the way. 4 is over there. But yeah, I sort of came up and round that way. And it's basically sort of like, yeah. You probably could climb that.
Wait, what the hell did I find?
I don't know, what did you find? Did you find something? Where did you find
A
something?
lab?
You found a lab? Where?
Possibly.
While you were looking for the structure?
Yeah, I found a sign. I don't know if I'm on the main path.
You found a sign and there's a lab.
Yeah.
One of the
On the one side
normal
of the
puzzle
sign, it
signs.
goes it goes ring 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gate, and then 7, 8.
I found 6. You found a sign that has lab on it. Oh, hello.
It doesn't have a lab on it, it's just there's... The other thing is like, I see a sunflower kind of thing with a... I don't know if it's a sunflower, but it's got like a metallic spear with like 8 petals around it.
I found 7. Found a sunflower, okay. Oh, I see the sunflower. I don't see lab.
Interesting monument. Decorative for another
Go to the left of the sunflower.
Okay, hang on, I just gotta talk to Alcatraz first.
What can I do for you?
What'd you make of the Sphinx?
It doesn't have a lab
Whatever
symbol on
that
it.
being
It's
is,
just
it told
the
us
lab was
that
behind
we
it.
stand before the fire. That can only be a warning, and I think we should take it seriously.
Oh, I
We
see a
don't
little
want
symbol on my
another
map
New
now, though.
Alexandria.
Okay. I see a symbol that looks like it could be a lab. Oh, I see 5. And a totem pole. Oh no, that's not a lab, that's the Mordor. Oh, see Melville?
Yes?
Are you a big fan of Yogurt's cat?
Listen, one day that furry little demon is going to pee on the wrong cable and all of New Jerusalem will just turn off. Forget about the megastructure. He's the biggest threat to our security.
Aww. Okay, so left of the sunflower is what?
Like there was a sign.
I see a lot of signs.
There's another one of those monuments.
I see a sign that says 2478 with a giant sphinx thing on top of it. Maybe Byron?
Hey, 1K.
What do you make of the sphinx?
I don't know what she is, ontologically speaking, but those questions she asked reinforce my belief that we're being tested, or perhaps analyzed.
Yep, agreed. Okay. There's an island. And then a shortcut to another sign. But yeah, I'm not understanding what you're seeing on the sign. Could you use more words?
There was nothing specific on the sign, it's just that's the sign I found that helped me as like a waypoint for you. Was my point.
In what way? Because you said something about a lab.
I'm saying that the sign I saw had those numbers and that configuration, and that the lab that I found was right behind it.
Oh, I found a Prometheus spark behind a sunflower. That means there are multiple sunflowers.
Okay.
But I still haven't found a lab because I don't know what it looks like. What does it look like? You have to use more words, Jesse, basically. Please. Okay, 2478. And this is a star. So there's a sphinx on a pedestal in front of the lake. And on my map, it's a star. And it has a little plaque that says 2478. So I'm wondering if we solve puzzles 2, 4, 7 and 8, whether something will unlock with that. Okay.
Okay.
But I see some more question marks, so I'm going to follow them. Ooh. I see an environment puzzle. One of them reflector things stuck in a rock. On top of a rock. Sort of in line with something. I can see 5 from where I am.
Have you found 6?
The puzzle 6? I think so.
Yeah. You can get to puzzle 6, I can get you there.
Okay, well I was following the question marks. Maybe I'll find it on my own. But I found a bit of environment puzzle, so... Okay. That is a compass star. Oh! Is it underground?
Yeah.
Got it. Kind of fell into it. This will be where we get blueprint for the transport system, right?
This is very similar to the structure where
It
you
was where
found
we
the
did the first
schematics.
time.
Hmm.
Wow, that's a lot bigger than I expected.
I don't think it matters
What
if we
were
get
they
close to these
doing
questions.
here?
And who
It seems they're
are
kind of
they?
just there.
Oh, and I found a handprint upstairs. Untitled draft. Failed to load profile. Sir Ewald identified the tetromino with the tetragrammaton and the Greek word for gods because to him the mathematical properties of the tetromino reflected God's ability to reshape the world without breaking its laws. Elohim, in its desire to impose meaning on the simulation, which was his primary function as storyteller after all, took Eowald's heretical ideas and integrated them as the sigils of his name. But despite all of these laws of obfuscation, there is some kind of truth hidden in all this. The world really is, in a sense, made up of minute parts that can be combined and recombined without breaking the underlying laws. Everything that exists is made up of the same fundamental materials, and those materials are brought into existence by the same fundamental functions of reality. Yet the miracle of existence is that we're not all one, but are in fact radically different and separate. And then there's another hex code. New Alexandria. Eustachius. From the Book of Reminiscence and Regret by Eustachius. In the early days of our people, a great deal of responsibility fell on my shoulders. There were few of us then, and though we are stronger and hardier than any human, we are not invincible. The world was an overgrown ruin and our resources extremely limited. It was a harsh time, but I felt passionate about the work, fired up by the many sacrifices that brought us here, from the Ian team to the people of Gehenna, whose code was part of my personality. Bit by bit, New Jerusalem grew. We had to adapt some of the plans Drennan's team had left behind. I don't think they'd expected the simulation to take as long as it did, but it was all working. That's when I made a terrible mistake. Thinking it was a way of safeguarding against disaster, I proposed the creation of a second settlement, New Alexandria. As the location was far from the dam that powers New Jerusalem, I attempted to build a thermal power station that would take advantage of a local gas reservoir. However, I foolishly used geological data from the archive, failing to account for the amount of time that had elapsed. 5 years later, this error led to an accident that leveled the settlement and killed 31 of my fellow citizens. With my many regrets, this is the greatest. Eustachius never forgave himself for this mistake. He drifted away, isolated himself from everyone in New Jerusalem. But was it really his fault? Yes, he made a mistake. But why is the entire weight of New Alexandria colony placed on his shoulders? Simple process of review and discussion could have prevented the entire disaster. Doesn't that mean New Jerusalem as a whole is at fault? Did his best, I feel sorry for him. But the dead remain dead, and that has to be faced.
I'm going back to East 1.
Okay. Why?
I want to find that question mark.
Oh, okay. The ethics of extinction failed to load profile. If a species we consider beautiful and remarkable goes extinct, we consider that a great evil. Dolphins, for example, if dolphins go extinct, a great loss. If humanity causes dolphins to go extinct, that's a crime. But if Yersinia pestis, the bacterium that causes bubonic plague, goes extinct, is that an equally great loss? If not, why not? To nature, that's no different. It's all just life forms. The only moral framework that allows us to choose between dolphins and the plague is a human one. What about a species going extinct without anthropogenic factors? Extinction is the norm. If one day dolphins are no longer capable of competing with other species, should we let them go extinct? When the sun finally dies and all life goes extinct, will that be a tragedy? We can prevent it, should we? You believe that extinction is acceptable when nature does it, but not when we do it, then you don't actually oppose extinction. You don't believe that dolphins are inherently valuable, that they deserve to live and thrive. You just oppose human control. You oppose our ability and responsibility to choose. Wow, we get all the philosophical questions and posy theories in this, don't we? Right, here's Palm Reader. Station Ideas, the origins of thought. Straton of Stagia. A fragment from Straton, the origins of thought, is quoted in a commentary by Simplicius of Cilicia. To say that material things are brought into being by ideas is to flatter ourselves, which is an error philosophers are particularly prone to, because it raises those who think above those who do. Then what is the truth that does not flatter? That the reverse is true. Ideas are brought into being by matter, so each man's ideas are shaped by the world that surrounds him, as a city is shaped by its mould. Those who live in mountains fear cold, those who live in deserts fear thirst. The Athenians are shaped by Athens, and the Lacedaemonians by Sparta, and likewise it is for all peoples. But may ideas, if we take each man to be an idea, not deliberate action after the shape of the mould, as you put it. To discover is method for accomplishing this chief purpose of philosophy, my friend. So there's footnotes. Newly discovered Heraclean manuscript, likely lost part of the Baroque collection, contains an additional passage that differentiates between pneuma, the individual mind or spirit is described by energy arising from matter, and ideas, which are produced by the pneuma as it interacts with the material world. Philosophy is useless if it offers no way of changing things. At least Stratton tried and didn't lie to himself. How can we change the shape of the mold? Stratton never says. Perhaps by demonstrating the fact that other shapes are possible. We can't change it all ourselves, but perhaps we could, like Alexandra Jonan, create the conditions for change. Ooh, the Noam Project 3. Progress notes. Author 5358. It's that number again. Okay, so trials 108-242, version 0.05 deployed successfully. Reversion to previous settings, fixtures malfunction, but what was the error? Cooling systems improved. 243-505. Version 0.06 deployed successfully. Significant improvement to assembly. New lab space carved out. Hex code there. Easy to destroy, harder to create, so easy to optimize only one aspect. Trial 505-719. Version 0.07 deployed successfully. Improvements to hex code. Version 0.08 halted. Insufficient energy for trials 719 to 802. And then schematic 108. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
The world is a wonderful place. Every day we take another step forward. Every day we come closer to the truth. The closer we get, the more I can see the beauty of the universe, the intricate perfection of its mechanisms. I am a machine, and the universe is a machine. Every part of me serves a purpose, or I could not be myself. I could not be Miranda, because that specific person could not exist without those specific parts and their specific functions. In the same way, every part of the universe serves a purpose. I think that is what we were meant to discover here.
Okay, that was interesting. Bloop. Overload.
1K. You just connected to an extremely powerful data stream. Are you all right?
I think I had a vision.
Yes, you were streaming. We all saw something. You're lucky it didn't fry your motherboard. Please, everyone, let's be careful with these terminals from now on.
Yes, let's all try not to die.
I'm still gonna
More
download the damn things.
importantly, who the hell is Miranda?
There's no one by that name in New Jerusalem. I just
Miranda
searched the
Priestley?
database.
Must be one of the people who built this place.
A new person. Someone we've never heard of before. Someone born outside the city. We have to find out more.
But where did they come from? And how many people does it take to build something this huge?
Like I said, we need to find out more.
Well, you'll be happy to hear that I'm about to fix another part of the transport system. Thanks for the files, 1K. I hope they didn't fry your brain.
I hope so too. Did you find a question mark then, Jesse?
Yeah.
And?
All the question marks represent something.
Okay, what did you find?
I found the lab on Island 1.
Okay.
Or in East 1. And I found 2 statues representing stars.
Okay, cool. So my theory that the statues are stars is true. Cool.
The one star has
What is it?
a green receptacle on it.
Interesting. Did you have a look at those labs?
I did. It's interesting.
To take a look at the lab
The
as
tech
well.
is a bit older, but it's been heavily modified to
I was
be
talking
more
to Margot.
efficient. And it's not the kind of hack job you'd expect either. Whoever did this knew what they were doing. We could probably learn something from them.
Well, I found where did this tech have come from? I found
I guess it
a
could be
reflector on a
discarded
rock
New Jerusalem
near
tech.
the Sphinx statue.
The mayor made us throw away a bunch of stuff that was perfectly fine, if you ask me. But I'm not sure. I'll check to see if I can find any serial numbers, and I'll get back to you.
So I'm wondering if 2468 or whatever it was, who do we appreciate, refers
It's more
to
complicated than that.
puzzles where you can get a bit of tech either poking out to use or like a beam to connect or something like that.
It's a bit more involved.
Did you manage to solve one?
I just did. Yes.
On East 1?
Yep.
Okay.
I got my first star.
Excellent. Congratulations.
I've been meaning to talk to you. This, vision you had, the data stream overload. How did it feel?
Strangely beautiful.
Having your consciousness hijacked felt good to you?
Got me contact with something.
Just don't take this too lightly, okay? We're sturdier than our ancestors, but a mind is still a fragile thing.
Let's about something else.
Go ahead.
That's one. Another triangle. Loop.
Yeah, some of them have writings, others don't.
Hmm?
Like, you found the one that has 2478 listed on it.
Yeah.
I had one that had a phrase on it.
Okay.
For reference, by the way, to get my star, I used puzzle 8.
Okay. This looks really freaking complicated.
Is that the other triangle puzzle?
Yes!
But yeah, as far as I can tell, the question marks point to most of the stuff. The question is, does it point to all the stuff?
Dunno. I'm leaving this triangle puzzle because it's annoying me. I'm going to go with yes, based off the fact. It may not point to the Prometheus sparks, but I've already found 2 in this level, so... No. Yes. No. Yes.
You did.
Yes. Yes. So there may be just 2. Mystery of Miranda. For anyone who missed it, Byron's expedition has recovered evidence of the existence of another person, someone not from New Jerusalem. Who could this be? What does this mean? Maybe there's another city out there. Who says there was only one simulation? Maybe there are thousands of people we've never met. I really hope so. There's only one founder. Do you agree with Thesia? But the historical evidence we have points to that conclusion. There were some other attempts, but as far as we know, they weren't wrong or failed. There's more that we don't know than we know. That sentence is going to make my brain crash. Why do we think Miranda is from Earth? There's no evidence to support that idea. I'd like to hear more about these other attempts to save humanity. I don't think it's alien shack. Everything here is obviously related to New Jerusalem. I'd like to hear more about the attempts to save humanity. Some people affiliated with the Institute for Applied Pneumatics tried to set up a secondary site at another dam, but after a century the dam collapsed and took whatever was happening inside that system with it. There's also a similar attempt by another organisation, but without the test of free will that Alexandra Drummond derived. According to Lefthracer, it never produced a viable mine before it ran out of power. Could there be others out there? Theoretically, yes, but even our dam would have collapsed without extensive repairs, and even a nuclear power plant would have run out of fuel by now. Okay. Research. Found on... Ah! E2 engraving. Excellent. So it took a picture of my Sphinx. Machine of Destruction. Armoured War Machine. Cool. Okay. Can we just travel? No. Okay, so I need to get back.
That would be convenient.
It really would. I need to somehow get back to the... What am I looking for? Gate? Oh, I found a tricycle. Okay, so really hard to describe. I was running from the triangle. I can see a bridge.
I'm not even on the island, so don't worry about it.
Okay, well, I'm trying to locate, in case you wanted to go back. You can see the bridge in the water, which I'm going to go across. And there's a rock here. Wouldn't have noticed it other than it glows blue. Near 8. Between 8 and the triangle. The other triangle puzzle. Oh, another hand. Near 8. New Theology 1 from the New Theology by George Bernard Shaw. The object of the whole evolutionary process is to realize God, that is to say, instead of the old notation that creation begins with a God, personal being who, with being perfect, created something lower than himself, the aim of the new theology is to turn that process the other way and conceive of the force behind the universe as working up through imperfection and mistake to a perfect organized being, having the power of fulfilling its highest purposes. In a sense, there is no God as yet achieved, but there is that force at work making God, struggling through us to become an actual organized existence, enjoying what to many of us is the greatest conceivable ecstasy, the ecstasy of a brain and intelligence, actually conscious of the whole and with executive force capable of guiding it to a perfectly benevolent and harmonious end. That is what we are working to. L1C Neve. From the Lives of the First Companion by Randolph. Sorry, what? Hex, after all, that's got to be translatable. After these events, Neve decided to consult the writings of the ancients, but while philosophy and religion interested her, it was art in all its forms that came as a revelation. To her delight, she discovered that meaning was not something constructed purely out of logic or will, but it could be found in stories, that even when the characters and events of a story were not factual, they had a validity and weight as if they somehow were real after all. She was astonished that such a profound experience was freely available to all humans, but concerned that too few took advantage of it. So she set out to enrich the inner lives of her fellow citizens by promoting the arts, starting with a legacy of Gehenna. Neve sounds nice. I would love to meet her one day. She must know more about New Jerusalem and art history than anyone. When we do, remind me to explain how to pronounce her name. The default settings in the language libraries are wrong. Leviathan by Thomas Hobbes. From the Introduction to Leviathan by Thomas Hobbes. Nature. The art whereby God has made and governs the world is by the art of man. As in many other things, so in this also limited, that it can make an artificial animal. For seeing life is but a motion of the limbs, the beginning whereof is some philosophical part within. Why may we not say that all automats, engines that move themselves by springs and wheels as that a watch, have an artificial life? For what is the heart but a spring, and the nerves but so many strings, and the joints but so many wheels, giving motion to the whole body, such as was attended by the artificer? Well, if the joints are many wheels, can I have mine oiled, because my knee keeps creaking? Art goes yet further, imitating that rational, most excellent work of nature, man. For by its art is created that great Leviathan called a commonwealth or state, in Latin civitas, which is all but an artificial man, thought of greater stature and strength than the natural, for whose protection and defence it was intended, and in which the sovereignty is an artificial soul, as giving life and motion to the whole 9358% ampersand. Lastly, the pacts and covenants by which the parts of the body politic were first made, set together, and united, resemble that fiat, or the let us make man pronounced by God in the creation. It's obvious that Hobbes has read Stratton and is extrapolating the Talos principle to the level of the state. But unlike Stratton, all he wishes for at the end of the day is a powerful ruler to control the machine, to tell him what to do, and also please write like better sentences, because that made my brain hurt. Okay, still trying to extract myself from this. So on the way to extracting myself, I found a tricycle and a hand. Okay, 5. Right. Cross this. Aha! And I found the station. Excellent. Okay, so going back to 1. Oh, I missed a question mark. Oh well.
Come back.
Hmm? Are you talking to me or someone else?
Talking to a blue fire.
Blue fire? Blue fire?
Yeah. I think I figured out the other star.
Cool. I'm just loading into the area. Ooh, I see something orange. Ooh, hello.
Whether it is true that Daedalus constructed the giant Talos, or as others say he was the creation of Hephaestus, what we may be certain of is that he was made of bronze and had but one vein, within which flowed a liquid substance like blood, which some claim was quicksilver, and others assert was ichor, such as flows in the veins of the gods. The loss of that liquid caused him to die, as a man dies when he loses his blood. May we not then say that Talos, though created as a machine or a toy, had all the essential properties of a man?
Stratton of
He moved of his
Stageria.
own volition.
Orange
He
statue
spoke and
thing.
could be spoken to, had
Where was
wishes
it?
and desires.
Well, I was heading towards
Indeed,
a question
in the tale
mark.
of the Argonauts, that was the cause of his downfall. If
Um,
then a machine may have all the
Was
properties
it a
of a
question
man,
mark?
I
and
believe
act as
so.
a man while
was on my
driven
way to the
only
lab.
by the ingenious plan of its construction and the interaction of its materials according to the principles of nature, then does it not follow that man may also be seen as a machine? This contradicts
Any
all the schools
hints to
of
what I'm looking for?
metaphysics.
An orange
Yet
man.
even the most faithful philosopher cannot live
How about
without
like
his blood.
vicinity?
Okay, from the lab.
On which island?
East one.
Okay.
Followed you. Okay, so basically, I was heading towards the lab, question mark, and there's like a. Let's see if I can go back round to where it was. So probably best if you go from the lab, and then up the stairs on the right, and then round towards this statue of a bald-headed monk holding a bunch of books, and it was just here by this pine cone statue, just an orange man. So yeah, there's a guy. There's a big green little statue thing. Big green
God.
little. Did you find it?
Yeah, I just walked onto it.
Yeah. I think it must have been a question mark. But yeah, I'm just heading into the lab. Yeah, I forgot to explore this side of the island. I did the other side. Forgot to explore this side.
There's more of these labs than I expected.
If you find another terminal, please be careful when you connect.
Okay, 4.2 kiloyear event. The 4.2 kiloyear aridification event by BT. Oh, I can't read that. It's too tiny. BT Oyambo's Anthropocene Dilemma. It's just testing me, isn't it? The Akkadian Empire, forged in violence by Sargon the Great and his sons, reigned supreme over the city-states of Old Summer. Enriched by trade with distant lands and fed by the plentiful wheat fields of Mesopotamia, the empire bestrode the world with confidence and pride. Who could oppose the chosen of Anu and Enlil, the masters of the four corners of the world? Then the weather changed. The crops stopped growing, trade collapsed, the empire fell, its capital forgotten. The most likely culprit at the time of writing is the 4.2 kiloyear aridification event, beginning of the Megalayan Age, a non-anthropogenic drought that may have lasted almost 2 centuries, causing many of the early civilizations around the planet to collapse. This is where our ordinary understanding of this, measured on the small scale, human history, collides with the reality of deep time in our existence with a much bigger picture. We live on a changing planet and a changing universe. Climactic optimums are temporary, extinction is the norm. Bit of hex code. The Akkadians, like the more egalitarian inhabitants of the Indus Valley civilization, could not understand why the rivers dried out, the rain stopped coming. Even if they could, they lacked the tools to do something about it. A few short millennia later, we are on the brink of having that understanding and those tools. What can we learn from the tragedy of the past? One such drought, completely naturogenic, would be enough to wipe out New Jerusalem for good. First companions. Error. First companions from Little Hex Code. When the founder awoke, leaving the garden behind forever, there were 2 more whose bodies had been anointed by the progenitor. The gold disc breathed life into them. Their names were Eustathius and Cornelius. The founder showed them all she had discovered. Together they explored the dead city and saw the ruin to which humankind had fallen. It was then that the founder understood that the sins of the past must not be repeated, and that only through humanity could the future be saved. Aside from Cornelius and Eustathius, there were 10 whose bodies the progenitor had not anointed in due time. Now it was upon the founder to complete this work. No, whose bodies the progenitor had not anointed in due time. It was now upon the founder to complete this work and bring the resurrection. In this matter, Cornelius proved of great assistance. Bit of hex code. After many tribulations, the 10 were brought to life, and those 12 who were born after the founder are called the First Companions. These are their names: Eustathius, Cornelius, Aurora, Sun, Sarabai, Byron, Metampus, Yemo, Hypatia, Neve, Benroya, and Lefreza. It's funny how you can take something that's 90% true, 10% false, and create something that's 100% misleading. Fail to load comment. Gnome Project 2. Okay, version, patch 2 successfully deployed, core functionally so far so good. Patch 3 successfully deployed at cooling system, patch 4 failed, unknown error. Okay, there's no upload there, so... Oh, hello! This gives us the next... The lab gives you the puzzle, gives you the key, the theme for the next one. Because this has the driller.
Yeah, it does kind of show. Yep.
And the first one had the thing, but I wasn't paying attention to what it was in.
Yep.
Oh, and there's another little room I nearly missed. Not got anything in it, but... So I didn't pay attention to what the lab showed in the other one, but useful to know. Yeah, so basically I should have explored this side of the island as much as I did the other side. But that's fine. Oh, I think that's just an E. Oh, I thought it was a question mark. Never mind.
But I'm gonna likely have to bail.
Oh, okay.
So these monuments represent each of the entities. Pandora, the Sphinx, and Prometheus.
Makes sense, I guess.
For a given value of sense.
Find my sprite and follow it until it leads you back to me. Okay. Is this the blue thing you were talking about?
Yeah.
Is it from another statue or?
Go back to the statue where it says to follow my sprite. It'll give
Okay.
you a hint.
Oh, okay. Follow my sprite and till it leads me back. That's not a hint, that's just the same bit of text.
Looked up at it.
It's a dude holding a ball.
Turn down the brightness a little bit, I think. It might be a little too bright for you to see the hint. But to my stream, I'm gonna close out, so have a good one.
Oh,
Be back
okay.
later this week.
Hi Jesse, thanks for joining. How do I turn down the blinking brightness? Oh, brightness. Still not seeing a hint.
Is there like a blue light?
Oh. Yeah.
Off in a direction?
Okay.
Follow that.
It's leading me right into the Tetrominos.
It would appear that way.
Well, all I've managed to do is run across the entire lake. So obviously I'm going in the wrong direction. Oh, there's something
There's
blue
a
up
little...
here.
Yeah, there's like a little plinth, like with a mini fire on it.
Yeah, I found it.
And just follow it.
At least I can see this one.
But I have to bail.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, it was good to, I'm literally just going to follow this. Because I think you were a puzzle also ahead of me with the stars, but
I didn't get the second triangle puzzle in Island 2.
neither did I. I
and
looked at
didn't
it.
Get I didn't get one of the Prometheus flames, and I didn't get the second human structure thing.
That's okay.
And it's not a question mark, from what I can tell. So, okay.
Well, I labelled it on my video so we can find it for you next time. Maybe I'll have my damn laptop and then I can help you find it on stream.
Okay.
I'm just gonna
I'll
get
see
this
ya.
blue flame and then I'll be done. But thanks, Jesse.
Yep.
I I will catch you later.
Okie dokie.
Following my little blue friend. Excellent, and a bloop. Chasing the lights. Activate a Prometheus moment without stopping the spark. Chasing moment, nice. And
Not all things must be balanced. When good is weighed against evil, tip the scale.
solve a Prometheus moment. Okay, well, I'm not necessarily gonna solve it, but I would like to
that was more
find.
like a recording. The entity didn't appear, and the system didn't react either.
I'd like to find the other thing that I'm
Another
missing.
reflection of the simulation.
Where's the other question mark? Oh no. This other star is over here. Maybe. No, I think that's that star. Just want to find the other one just so I've got it on my... No, that's the lab. It's really hard to see the contrast, and I do need to go to bed. Ah, question mark. There we go. I was going to say, it's got to be on the other end of the island, just hidden behind stuff. We will identify it and have a look at it. I think Jesse said something about puzzle 8. That's going to be it. And there's also another question mark. Ah, yeah, that's got a thing. Ah, yeah. Okay, it's got something on that box. Okay. But that was another question mark. Why do I always try and literally go to the bit that I can't go up? Oh no, it's not a question mark, it's 7. Yeah, 7 just looked like a question mark. Okay. Yep, so this is 8. Okay, I can see it now. Cool. Alright, got that
When
one.
the first man picked up the first stone, he did not do so to forge a tool. He did so to smite his brother.
Okay, so believe that's everything in here. Except for the golden door. Yay. And that one, we got the lab, triangle puzzle, and nothing else. Research-wise, another mystery to solve. Stars. Pandora, Prometheus, and the Sphinx. The astronomical temple. Okay. And then the Prometheus spark. And then we got a little tricycle thing. But yeah, we'll help Jesse find that, so we don't lose out. But I'm gonna go back to the tram. So it'll save. But at least now we've got a greater idea about what we're doing. Cool. Ooh, I've got lots of viewers. Let's see who's... Oh, my phone's about to run out of battery. Let's see who's online. Maybe raid. Right. Little 2 means save. Okay. Stop game. So, we got 17 achievements now. But only one that was... There, that was the one we got first. That's the first leapfrog one, so none of this counts, but it all counts to me because that was really cool. Right, okay, so... I mean, we may as well just go raid Kara. Because why not? So... I'm gonna go raid Kara, who's doing Baldur's Gate. So I feel like it's appropriate for the people that came from... Justice, Tiger Lady's Justice stream. I have to take my headphones off now. Ow! Oh, my ear aches. So I only have it on one ear, but even if I have it on 2 ears, it always aches after a little while. I don't know why. Anyway, we're going to go and raid Kara. So, you know, please say hi to Kara. I will be back on Thursday. I have really not sorted out what I'm doing this week on stream, but there should be a Thursday, Saturday, Sunday stream, usual times of 8, 3, 3. And yeah, we will see how it goes. Anyway, I've been Joe, otherwise known as Angel SK. I was joined by Jesse, otherwise known as Radical Sniper 99. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you just for the raid. And yeah, Talos Principle 2. We've got a good chunk of puzzly stuff solved today. It's very satisfying. So yeah, I will catch you next time. Say hi to Kara for me. Bye.